Alright, seems like we are live. Guys, welcome to the third Pirate Skills meetup, which is about the 20th, 21st, the 21st growth meetup in Cologne. And today we're going to talk about the growth marketing treasure map. Something you can't have heard about since maybe if you went to the last meetup. But this is a new concept I want to introduce, which is going to be a new model to view the customer life cycle. But it's very obvious once you see it. Yeah, and you think like, geez, why didn't I think about it that way? Just about me quickly, I started founding in 2008 while I was studying psychology. Couldn't stop since then. Yeah, I'm doing this full time since the last 5 years. Have a nice app that helps you to become a better counter-striker. Called CSGO Skills in like 150 countries with a couple of 100,000 users, and then a site about drones, and yeah, now this nice event series where I invite speakers or sometimes tell some of my own stuff. Yeah. So I consider myself a growth marketer. Growth marketing, to me, like the difference between the classical marketing is that I really love to be part of the whole customer journey. Yeah, I love to build the marketing into the product and to not only stop at filling the funnel. Yeah, that's not my thing. I really need to know what's happening behind the sign up, what's happening in terms of customer lifetime value. And yeah, I'm also a father of 2 little girls. One has been born just 4 weeks ago, and my wife was so nice to let me off for tonight. I'm super proud of that. So, guys, do me a favor, use the hashtag Pirate Skills. Also, if you're on the live stream, then we have a chance to find each other later on Instagram and Twitter and where not. Please take pictures so I can get to see it from different perspectives and bloody share this, the stream, all right? All right, so who of you is familiar with this term? R. Yeah? Yeah, like, lots of stuff started here. I don't know, the slide deck from Dave McClure was introduced like in 2007, like a year before I started my own funding journey, but I didn't have a clue about startups back then. So R stands for acquisition, activation, retention, referral, revenue. And he made a slide deck that looked like that. Yeah. And I thought, yeah, this is it's still one of my favorite slide decks. That's the original one he posted in 2007 on SlideShare. Check it out. This is one of my favorite models, but I think the visuals, there could be a better way, potentially. Yeah? So this model has the idea that you have a customer journey. People are coming in through different acquisition channels like social networks and SEM and PR, and they go into your product or your website or your SaaS service. They need to be activated, then they hopefully stick around. That's what he calls retention, and refers different users into the app, and then generates revenue. Yeah. So to simplify things, I used to do this. More visualize it more like a funnel, people coming in, but it turns out that it doesn't happen that way in every business model. It could be that revenue comes in straight after acquisition, that you don't have any more revenue from one customer. The business model, which I couldn't recommend, but which is reality when you want of B2C gadgets, for example. Yeah? But generally, I like to think that way. That is the simplest version of telling that story. People need to be acquired, to be activated, that they use the product. They need to stick around. They need to refer some people, hopefully, and they need to give you some money. Yeah? Basic math says if you pay less for acquisition, then you get a customer lifetime value. You got a nice business going. Yeah? So, but I thought there's got to be a better way. Yeah? And the better way, to me, looks a bit like that. And I'm going to go into much detail with that. An illustrator made this for me. This is still like version 1. Yeah, this is the first map of like Middle Earth that Tolkien drew up in the night and then asked somebody to repaint it, please, in a prettier way. So, but first, I got some questions about you before we dig into that. So, get to know you guys a little bit better. Like, who would consider themselves more like a solo freelancer? Like you? Like, who's more like a small startup? Like, yeah. Okay, what do you guys do? Yeah, I think you can start.
We do digital personal
Walter White can start.
What?
Walter White can start.
We do digital personal training. We have a sports app for fitness.
Which is called?
It's called Camelback. And
I don't know how to spell it.
Huh?
How do you spell it?
Kernwerk.
K-E-R-N. Okay. Cool.
There you go. Personal workouts scaled to your abilities.
Yeah. And what do you do?
I have a little online shop and I'm selling poster and art stuff and things like that.
Oh yeah. Okay, so you're selling posters in a shop. What do you use for shop software? WooCommerce. Yeah. And what do you guys do? I heard a little bit before, but maybe it's interesting for the other people here for the live stream.
We have a creative investment firm in California. Our work office is in LA, but our legal address is in Silicon Valley, San Jose. We have multiple offices around the world, and what we do is we basically help globalize anyone from startups to celebrities, corporations. We help businesses or individuals of any size. Anybody that, say, decides to become a celebrity tomorrow, all the way to a real corporation like Uber, Gold Gym. So a little bit of everything. It's very hard to identify ourselves, but we like to fit in every shoe.
All right. So who would be more like in the larger, in the medium business, like established, like Mittelstand in Germany, yeah? The SMB sector. Nobody here? Any corporate guys? You're a corporate guy or girl? Which corporate do you represent?
I'm head of catering, and I make some consulting for companies for events or.
Cool. What's the company called?
Cocktails.
Oh yeah.
And another one is barbecue. Right?
Okay. How big is the company?
Normally.
Yeah, like employees or revenue?
50.
Okay. All right. So, anybody else who I didn't like fit in? What do you do?
I work for the university.
Ah, yeah, University of Bonn, right?
No, Cologne.
Cologne. Okay. I just know you from Bonn, from the Bonn events. Okay. So, simple questions. Yeah, let's start with the simplest one. Like, who of you knows how many people visit your website? Like, who doesn't? Like, oh, you probably don't have the website. But do you know where they're coming from? Can you see like the source, medium in analytics? Do you know how many people of those users convert from visitor into an active user? So usually a few less. And how much it costs to get one of those users, really? So what kind of cost per acquisitions are we talking about with you guys? Like, can you start?
Yeah, well, since we're a global market, it depends on our sales teams and our referral teams bringing in real acquisition leads. So we have to deduct that from our online base. So if we know that we get about 1,000 to 5,000 users on our website a week, and those convert to sales, we can then acquire how many meetings, how many sales were face to face, how many.
Do you have an idea, like what kind of cost per acquisition you have about?
How, like the numbers?
Yeah.
The numbers? Are we allowed to disclose that? It depends. Right now, because we just did our marketing platform, it's about 20% of our leads actually turn into sales. So.
Okay. Don't want to mention any euros, but how about you?
I don't know numbers for this month, but in the last month we had around about 30 euros as cost per subscription, and for a lead around about 4 euros.
All right, and if you have like a SaaS product or a do you know how long people stick around in your business? This is getting a bit tougher. Yeah? Yeah, usually do. Like like the average subscription rate per month? Is it you calculate?
Yes, you can test 2 weeks and then you have a monthly subscription.
And if once they have subscribed, what's your average number of months people stick around?
I cannot tell that because we are paying now for 4 months and we didn't have many unsubscribed.
You didn't have many, yeah. Good luck that it stays that way. Great. And last question, do you know how much each customer is worth and how long it takes to realize that worth? Anybody precisely? Yeah? Because like at the end of, as I said before, you want to know how much is the customer worth and how much did you pay for them. That's like the stuff you need to know. And to answer those questions and to be a bit more creative in figuring out what to do about those questions if you want to improve something in those areas. Yeah? And now let's dig into that. Do you have any questions beforehand? All right. If you want to contribute or want to call bullshit, please, that's the best time to do it, yeah? So, this is the full thing. You can see a nice map. Imagine, like, let me take that nice thingy here. So, we are all kind of pirates, yeah? We are going on the shore and try to find ourselves to the treasure, which might be lying down here in the sun, yeah? And like this river kind of represents to me like the user flow. Yeah, people come in, they can drift off the map quite quickly on several occasions, or they can really run through. And what we gotta do as the entrepreneurs, we have to find a way to help the customers go from each step to the next and not to drop off too early in the customer life cycle. And there is a little tower there that helps you look over the whole country, and that's of course the Tower of Analytics. This island, I'm still working on that concept. If I want to do like an ideation, customer development phase before you actually reach the main shore. And here's the Mount Doom where you really have to prove that customers give you actual money. So, as I said, treasure can be found. Yeah, on any part of the map. Now we pretend it's here. And you've got to realize that if you cannot see where your customers are going, where they're dropping off, you are blind on that island. Yeah, you don't have a compass with you. Yeah, and analytics help you gain clarity about how people are doing in every stage of the life cycle, not just the beginning. And then you need to start thinking about how do I inquire? How do I get a big stream of customers into your product, yeah, or interested? And then maybe the customers come around here and they have to cross this bridge, in my mind at least, yeah, and have to activate. And this is where most products fail in the beginning. Like if I were like to point out the facet where you need to focus on most in the beginning, it would be activation. Before you dump big money into acquisition, if people don't get engaged in your product, like you're just burning money, yeah. And so this whole area I would call engagement, yeah. People might get lost in the desert because you don't show them any milestones they can go, or they can get lost in the woods later because you don't care about people sticking around for long, or not giving them the emails or notifications or incentives to upsell to stick around. Or you have really bad customer service, for example, which is a good reason to get lost here or there. So once you help them to acquire, stick around, you hopefully get some referrals. Yeah, you might get some money at this point, or you get referrals. If you're in a freemium product, you always hope that your non-paying customers still provide you with the virality, or a part virality to get in paying customers, right? It's always a bet that there are enough paying customers that hold the scale. And last but not least, people need to leave money on the table. If they don't, that is really hard. But I promise you, if you don't get them activated, if you don't get retention, then most people will neither leave money or not enough. Yeah, you seem to be providing a great product that continues to provide value, and so people are willing to stick around. Yeah, you have a 2-week trial period, and this is what makes activation easier. But then you have to prove like how long your retention rate is. And the longer your retention rate is, the more money you make. The more money you make, the more you can invest in that phase. That's why I'm so into the customer life cycle, and I just cannot do only fill my funnel stuff. Yeah, this whole process is what helps us to manage the user flow holistically. Yeah, and to get the best return on investment and the fastest growth for the company. So that is the big overview. And now we want to dig into like how this model can help you shift your thinking, or like examples, concrete examples of what if you would zoom in one level, like Google Maps style, what kind of areas would appear there, an acquisition or an analytics, for example, and what I would focus on if you want to improve the user flow, if you want to stop the dams, and keep the water flowing. All right, so let's look into the first part. I'm a data guy, I gotta start with analytics. I just feel completely blind if I don't have at least some basic Google Analytics running at the minimum. In the earliest stages of every product I do, or every website or app, I need that. I need this power to provide me with clarity, because it increases the speed of my learning immensely. As soon as I have one campaign that gets me under my desired cost per acquisition, I can scale that up very quickly, but I only see that when I have clear analytics. So what do you want to measure? You want to know how much traffic you have, you want to know the engagement within your app, and you want to know how well they're converting. Those are the 3 areas I try to focus on in analytics, and there are tools that help you with that. Like traffic, what's popular in Germany, like if you're really restricted, is PVIC. In Germany we have big data privacy issues. If you're like in a corporate, you might have known that too. I don't like it. Absolutely. I usually install analytics. What do you guys use to measure your traffic? You use Google Analytics? Most? Anybody who doesn't do something different? I'm always curious about new analytics tools. Nothing? All right. So in engagement, I love to use Mixpanel, especially like for mobile apps. If you are more in the desktop space, there's like Kissmetrics or Amplitude, which I really like. And they have huge free plans right now, because one of them really started to give away a lot, which was Amplitude. And those two help me measure the engagement. Get to know the churn of each cohort. That really helps me to see how long people are sticking around, how much money they're making. Anybody uses engagement analytics tools here? So this is really something like, especially like for a subscription service. What do you use for payment?
Our payment provider is PayOne.
PayOne.
And we
how do you manage the subscriptions?
This is the payment provider, and we manage the subscriptions via BillPay.
BillPay. Okay.
BillPay. This is our subscription management.
So there's one wonderful tool for that, and I think they support PayOne at least, which is ChartMogul. There was another tool called Barometrics, but it only does Stripe really well, and some others now. But they have so wonderful engagement metrics, especially in terms of revenue as well. So, and last but not least, you have ChartMogul here, and you want to measure conversions, you want to get the money. Most of that stuff you get in Analytics or Mixpanel if you set it up right. To set it up right, I love to use a tool called Segment. Segment is like a data layer, and your developers only need to send it to Segment, and Segment sends it to all those other tools. Also gives you a database which you can crunch your own numbers on or take offline events into account. This is like the first thing I usually install, and then all the rest through this here. It's like Google Tag Manager Advanced. Yeah? So this is just an example of if we would zoom into this map, yeah, when the next versions are out and the different areas, what you could look at. And then you can think, oh, I have problems measuring my engagement. Here are some concrete ideas you can go after, and then you can click and you find like a list of articles or something that will help you to implement that, or send you to a part of like a video course or something. Yeah, I really want to help people like get different ideas, to think broader, and to become curious, like what could be, like not the main way, but a bit, let's think around it and still achieve the same goal. Because in the end, you just need to drive the traffic from the top to the bottom, but the path you take depends on your business model. But your flexibility in that will very greatly increase your chances of success. So that's the analytics part. And now let's look at acquisition. Yeah, this is what most people are most interested in when they come to the growth marketing events, like how do I get more customers? Yeah, and the best book I can recommend, by the way, about the analytics, like this book covers like lean analytics, covers like most business models and gives you very clear, like measure this and that, and this is how you measure it. Well, you don't need to read the whole book. It's just read the chapters that apply to you. Yeah, I really dig that. Like if you want to have it. So about the acquisition, this guy, Gabriel Weinberg, the founder of DuckDuckGo, wrote this fantastic book called Traction. Yeah, and he shows like 19 channels. And whenever I think about, okay, how do I increase acquisition, I go to Amazon and open the how do you call that? The outline, the index, and just go down his list and think like, does this apply to this project really well or not? Yeah, and imagine this just on a map, like a mind map. You know, you have like your organic channels and you have your paid channels. Depending on your budget and your willingness to grow, you need to consider like how much you can increase your growth. And like in organic land, we probably want to work with an email list. Like email is still the strongest converting marketing channel there is. I cannot simply not overemphasize it. I try to replace it with chatbots. I really try hard because I hate emails. Yeah, but still, people just buy here. Yeah, when I used to do the marketing for the product Klarheit, which is like a coaching calendar, once we reached 10,000 emails on that list, I was 100% certain that this business is so hard to kill now. Like we would really need to mess up to kill this business. Yeah. You might have a content marketing strategy, which is a good choice, like pretty much any business model, B2C or B2B, and you want to have basic SEO in mind still in 2017. Do your social media. I hate social media, yeah, personally. Like, as long as it's in combination with paid, it's okay, but it's such a time eater, yeah? Like, except if you don't have no money, I would just do my basic social media, do my five posts a week, plan that out for a whole month, and just see what performs organically and then put some money on those. Yeah? And then you want to build community. Yeah? You want to target blocks, people that have a similar audience to your customers. And I always do that. For example, I do display ads on AdWords, and I see which websites convert on for my product. Yeah, and then I contact the owners of those websites and say, can even show them the data from analytics and from AdWords that your people love my product, but I want to keep paying AdWords. I would like to have a more solid partnership with you. Yeah, so targeting blocks is fantastic. Or classic PR, which I know hardly anything about. I wish you could recommend like a nice speaker for the growth meetup here. that really is strong in PR and that things like 2017, yeah, and not the 80s PR. Maybe that still works. I have a really hard time. Anybody here really brilliant with PR? Yeah, yeah, you?
A little bit, yeah.
What's your secret? How does it work? Jesus.
Well, in 2017, it really depends because there's so much variety in the ways that you can reach out to people that you have to think about who you want to reach out to. If you want to reach out to someone who is traditionally based and they're used to 80s PR, use 80s PR. If there's someone who, you know, they're in the millennial generation and they're used to interacting through social media, reach out to them through social media. So you just have to cater to the people that you're trying to reach out to and get to know them.
Okay.
In 2017, you just have to know who you're reaching out to more than ever.
And how do you find out who to reach out to?
Analytics.
How do you build your contact list of
Analytics.
PR? Analytics? Why is that?
Because you can see who turns into sales. So if you have a PR campaign and you're doing traditional methods like email blasts or press releases, when you realize that your audience is not reacting well to that.
But I mean like journalists to reach out to.
Yeah, journalists, exactly. So like data blogs and all that. So most magazines now are digital.
Yeah.
So everything is going online. So PR firms are not operating the same as they used to anymore. But everything now is online based or social media based. So a lot of PR companies are making that switch. So a lot of these methods like SEO, social media, blogs, community are done within PR firms nowadays. Which is why it's so confusing for people that are like, what's going on? PR firms is traditional. How do you put a finger on
You
this?
just have
Do you want to add to that? Like how do you find the journalists?
Yeah, I used to be a journalist before getting into PR, so I just know that now in 2017, because journalists have to change their ways, and now PR has to change their ways, because everything is it's transitioning into a digital world. It's no longer print. Everything is a bit more complicated, and how you find information and how you release it.
Yeah.
So as a PR agent, you just have to get to know the journalists you're reaching out to in the media. Figure it's easier.
It's like really human relationships, right?
Very human, yeah. But it's easier because now that there is social media, you can always see who these people are before you talk to them, and you can make a connection with them that is a bit more organic than traditionally, where you can just send an email and you don't know anything about that journalist. And that way you can get straight to the point. You're like, look, I know what you're about. I know what you do. And if you're interested, okay. And if not, then we can move on.
So reaching out to real humans and building an actual relationship. That's the advice.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And if you're a psychologist, you should be used to that.
Yeah. I prefer like to watch behavior manipulated. Just kidding. Can we get maybe light here in front? It's so super dark for the stream, and maybe you can, that's right. The beamer's great, so all right. So I used to have a bad relationship with those two channels, like PR and social media. Then two projects convinced me otherwise. Yeah, like PR. I'm helping the app Wayguard to reach more customers, and Wayguard is an app that helps like predominantly women to come home safely at night. Like you're connected to like a security center, or you can talk with your best mate, but geolocations are exchanged. Yeah. And once there was this girl who was found who had diabetes, and her whole body like shut down, and she couldn't talk anymore, but she sent out this distress call. Yeah. And so the police could find them, actually, and that caused huge PR. And I saw my cost per installs on Facebook, paid advertising, and AdWords and native ads, I just dropped like that. And I was like, shit, I gotta learn this PR thing. Yeah, like, wow, that was very illuminating. And then there is this other nice company here in Cologne called Social Sweethearts. Yeah, they are the ones who have like 10% of the publishing websites in the whole audience network of Facebook. Yeah, they have like 2 billion landing page views per month from organic social per month. Yeah, nobody knows about them. Yeah, if you have ever seen those weird, stupid questionnaires on Facebook, like what are the initials of your guardian angels? That's them. Yeah, they are making insane traffic, and if you're targeting women in the mid-30s and above, like this is fantastic stuff. But this is also maybe the reason why audience networks suck so bad. Yeah, if you have tried your Facebook ads. But that absolutely convinced me that social media in 2017 still works. Yeah, NPR still works. And this book was so valuable to me because it always opens my mind. I have preferences, strong preferences for specific channels, and this opens me up and gets me in learning and involved in new channels which have weird effects across all of my other ones. And the breadth and knowledge here really helps me to be more flexible in finding the right way in each project I do. So, but still, there's paid. There is paid. Thank God there's paid. Yeah? Because like, if you're posting on Facebook and you have 10,000 fans, you're lucky. Like if 1,000 people or 500 see it these days. Absolutely lucky. But you just pay $10. Yeah, you can actually reach 10 times that amount. Like I expect to reach 1,000 people for around $4 to $5 for a well-running B2C campaign. Yeah, and that is just, yeah, pretty much nothing if you got your channel right. So what we're looking at, like we got SEM going on, typically like AdWords and Bing and Yahoo, 98% AdWords here in Germany. Yeah, we don't use any other search engine. In the US, like there's a bigger difference. Like how much percent of the Google search is Google? Do you know?
Are you asking how much?
Here's like 98% of people use Google.
Oh yeah.
How is it in the US?
Pretty similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I at least heard that Bing has a chance over there. All right. Sorry, fellas, sorry. Yeah. So, but search engine marketing is still huge. If you have a product that has clear demand and people are typing in relevant keywords, if they exist, if you're not in a situation like Dropbox, nobody was searching for synchronize my folders online. Yeah, they had to generate that demand. Yeah, but if you have clear demand, you can test your ideas pretty quickly with search engine marketing. Then you have social ads, the Facebook, the Twitter ads, which just work fantastic. Like 80% of my money I spend every day, a couple of thousand lands here, because it just, this is, which converts better. I used to do more of search engine marketing. If I could get it to work as well as this, yes, I would do more of it. But like the saturation point of when this channel becomes unprofitable, like happens to me earlier and earlier, like, because it's so dense. Then you get display ads. Like one of the first things I do, like those are the banners everywhere. Like one of the cheapest first things I do is just to turn on AdWords display ad with this automatic responsive campaign. We just did that for Trinkos, yeah. And people get stalked on your website just for the retargeting audiences, just for the people who have seen it, and people think like you are just everywhere. Yeah, you just spend like $5 per day. And it's like, I don't know, how long did it take us to turn that on? 5 minutes, 6 minutes? Like, you have to upload 2 logos, 2 images, and a bit of text, and they create fantastic looking ads for you, and you just turn it on for retargeting and get your feet wet in here to retargeting, and then progress into cold traffic. Yeah, and if you can get display ads to work with cold traffic, you scale 100%. Yeah, because there is still the most reach in here, in my opinion. We can just do offline ads. Now, that's fantastic these days. We have Ströer here. They do dynamic display ads in Cologne. And we're trying that with another project right now, called Late Bird, a platform where you find spontaneous appointments for your hair, for example. Yeah, let's say I want to get a haircut now. It's hard to find a good place which has time right now. You just see on the billboards, that way, 5 minutes, go. Yeah, super interesting, but still, yeah, to me it's a bit fun. Anybody who has great experience here in offline ads? I don't. Just getting my feet right. So here you can see, like, we could get into way more detail here on the acquisition end, right? This is just 2 levels: organic, paid, Where's sales? Where is building an exhibition? Where is community building? Yeah, like maybe there. Yeah, but there's so much more to explore on this map. And if you're boxed in your mind and you get to look at this map and see like what am I already doing and what works and what doesn't work, and what's left and right of my current path and could like support. Like for example, like a content marketing strategy with SEO in mind. It's a no-brainer. That works together. Yeah? Get people through the content on an email list. Get the traffic from social ads to the content to your email list. Get them from the email list into your funnel. Like there are some channels that just flow together really well, and I hope I can visualize that even better in the future. Okay? So, what do you want to measure? Like, here's the power of analytics. What do you want to measure? Like basic reach, how many impressions do I have? How many sign-ups do I make per channel? So volume is important as well. Yeah? And you want to know what's the cost per acquisition for each channel, and if you can't, know it on the campaign basis for each channel. Yeah? Like AdWords does that for free, like automatically. If you help Facebook with the UTM parameters or an email, then you get that data as well. Yeah, so you want to know how many do I reach, how many sign up, how much does it cost? As simple as that. And there, yeah, you can go to depth. So that's the north. Yeah, I think I should like do like a winter theme in the north. Yeah, because of known TV series. Did you realize that they just killed it on Sky Ticket? I was watching. Don't spoil me. I'm like in the fifth. Not episode, season. In the 5th season. Don't tell me anything, guys. I want to know what's happening to Jon Snow. I have my theories. Read the books twice. I used to like build an app. I had an app incubator with a couple of friends, and we built this chat app where people from a website could chat with each other. Yeah. And the wildest channel was the Game of Thrones channels. Whenever a new episode came out, people didn't want to talk about it in the forum, yeah, because all the moderators say, "Oh yeah, we already discussed that back there. That link, you have to read all forum, blah blah blah." No, they wanted to discuss it real time now, and the traffic just whenever a new episode came out, and I was like, "No, I can't read it. It's fantastic." So a winter theme is coming. All right, let's go into the middle. Yeah, this is the most important section in the beginning. You want to acquire a user, you want to activate them, and you want to keep them around. You don't want them to get lost in the woods or like in the desert, like, oh, what am I supposed to do in your SaaS app? No, you need to give them clear directions. So this goes quicker than the other ones. Yeah, I'm just so much into analytics and acquisition. I just had to dig deeper into that. What do I look at here in the acquisition? I look at the sign-up, like how's my sign-up structures? How many form fields do I need from my potential customers to come in? How difficult is it? Like in Germany, if you have like a Facebook login in front of an app, you're dead. Like you don't get above 2 stars. Yeah, people are used to get to know the app, and then if they like it, to sign up. And Germans are particularly crazy and difficult with that. So since I have this app that is in like 150 countries, it's super interesting to see how different cultures react to different sign-up processes. Then I think about onboarding. There are lots of apps outside that just don't think about, like, or if you're just selling a product, like a shirt, yeah? Like, how could you make a customer experience that goes beyond the sale, yeah? That helps them to experience the product, to have fun, and to engage with it. And massaging. Yeah. Today I don't think about like emails. I really, yeah. Let's go through that really quick. I don't think about emails and push notifications and in-app messages. I think it as one channel. Because once you start doing the emails and push notifications, you run into this problem that you're sending too many messages, or you don't know, did he receive that message or did he not? Like anybody here like into B2B business SaaS, maybe even. Yeah, like you probably know Intercom, right? Intercom is like this fantastic tool that helps you combine those three channels, and there are many good competitors to them. But that helps you do the email, do the live chat, do the push notifications, and the in-app. So you really have a cohesive perspective on messaging. Yeah? With the sign-ups, I look at the registration for the app or the newsletter subscription. With onboarding, I think about like, do I have a tutorial built in? Do I have proper documentation? Or do I have like in a B2C environment, how can I structure the demo I'm giving for people to get in with your product? So that's the activation line I'm looking at. What I'm measuring, and what is very often overlooked, is time to first value. Yeah, how long does it take, how many steps do I put my user through, and how much time does it take him to get something out of my product? Yeah, and to decrease that time, this book really motivated me to dig into that. Time to first value, it's a bit more focused towards corporates or like bigger customers, but I still like reading it. Helped me to think especially about the acquisition and the whole engagement phase quite a lot. He has a pretty thorough understanding of the whole picture. Then how many steps does it take to first values, and what kind of opt-in rates do I have along registrations, double opt-in newsletters, for push notification opt-ins. That's always a conversion rate that I measure quite eagerly to answer the question, when should I ask for the notification token? The very beginning of the app, or later when it makes more sense. Yeah? UX and common sense would tell you, do it later when it makes sense. Yeah? But statistics shows me that 100% of customers get to see the badass interrupt in the beginning when they open the app the first time. Those are 100% of the people. And the opt-in rate might be like 30%. Yeah? If I do it later, but 50% of people only reach this stage, and I get a 50% opt-in rate, which is 20% better, which is great. Yeah? Then I still have lost people. I have lost 5% of tokens, which costs me retention like nothing else. Nothing will produce like an app retention like this and this. If I lose them, that's a problem. So I always try to measure stuff like that. Yeah? Alrighty, right. So that was activation. Let's look into retention. The most important thing, of course, is how good is the usage of your product. Like people, do they use it or don't they use it? This sounds so basic, but that is what I have seen my own failed apps die on the most. People installing it and just not using it. Yeah? I want to know how likely that they are to recommend it. That also shows me the quality. Retention is to me the whole quality game. Yeah? How much the product provides in value. Support is what can kill your B2B product, for example. If you do not provide proper support, then people will not trust you. They will just drop out and they run into a problem and they are out. What I'm also thinking about in this area is automation. Like last meetup, we talked all about automation, integrating your CRM with your marketing channels and all the messaging concepts. And to think about how can I automate certain messages that keep people around. For example, with your training app, what do you send people when they haven't used it for 2 weeks? Yeah? Do you send them an email or a notification?
Not yet, but we are currently building the push notifications. So they get a push notification via app, via email. It depends on how they did the settings.
Yeah.
So they can receive both if they want to.
Fantastic examples. So you have push notifications and you have a certain push enabling rate. Yeah? Do you know your push enabling rates? Like how many people?
No, we are currently building it, so we have no experience.
Sorry. Yeah. So you think about like how can I keep people around? and what features do they desire in order to keep using the product. What I measure here is churn rate. Yeah, I want to know how many people do I use in a given time period, usually like I think about a month or weeks. Yeah? Where I see like out of 100 people, how many are still around after a month, which is the retention rate. Yeah? And then I want to be able to do a basic cohort analysis. Like tools like Mixpanel and Amplitude will just do it for you. But if I introduce a new feature or a new product, I want to see how this changes in the new cohort. I cannot put all the data into one bucket and say, oh yeah, we're going to compare the data now, but different people are at different stages in the app. Or they have used it for longer, and you can only compare it if you can do basic cohort analysis. And then what I always do is I try to visualize the user flow, the churn funnel. At which steps do users drop out, how far? Yeah? And then I can work on the biggest drop-offs that are very high in the user funnel. Like if you fix problems up here, it's much more valuable than down below here in the revenue sections. Because all the effect you put in here, if you improve 5%, it trickles down to all the people. If you improve here 5%, it's much less in total volume, yeah, of users that are relevant to that. So this is retention and activation. At the end of the day, you want to have people who bring you more people in, or give you money. So it's about referral and revenue. Here you can see that people that don't stick around, if you don't have a high retention rate, people drop out of here. They just go down that lane, gone. Or they come down and have a chance to enter the mountain of doom. Yeah? Or they have a chance to multiply and bring people back in a circle into activation land. Yeah? With this, you can skip acquisition, which is wonderful. Yeah? So, and then you might find your treasure. So what can you do to improve your virality? First of all, virality is this big hyped up word. Yeah? And it usually involves like B2C product with a freemium model or with a publishing model where you want people like the Social Sweethearts guy. Yeah? They rely on people sharing those weird questionnaires. Yeah? That is their basic engine of growth. But if you realize that only 20% of your current customers can refer somebody else who actually uses your app, you just saved 20% in cost per acquisition up here, yeah? Which is insane, which can give you into a whole new league with your competitors. So you don't even have to be like this hyper growing viral machine, but you want to surely make you want to give them incentives to invite new people. You want to measure that. You want to help them share the content you're creating. Like for example, I'm a Fitbit guy, yeah, and they make it incredibly hard for me to share my results in social media because they are forcing me to share it within their own community, which might make sense for them, yeah. But to get them to share on Facebook, it's like a 20-click process, yeah. With saving it on a camera and then uploading it again, it's super weird. And I can focus on like community building, on building strong bonds and making my product inherently social. Like if you don't have a product that is more fun or more effective together than alone, I wouldn't focus too much on virality. I would just do the basics. But if your product fundamentally needs a community, then this is 80% of your game, probably. Yeah, but those are very few, but I like those very much. So what do you want to measure? The viral coefficient, which tells you how many people invite new users. Yeah? And what do you need to know to calculate it? You need how many people of 100 send an invite. That is the invite rate. Yeah? And how many people accept. And what many people forget, like this gets you the viral coefficient of 2. One person invites on average 2 people. Yeah, which I've never seen, yeah, or not at least on a consistent basis. But how long does it take for people to make this round? Inviting, accepting, using the app, paying you money. This is what we call the cycle time. Yeah? And the shorter that time, If you're in a B2B product and you have a 6-month sales cycle, that's a bitch. You can have a virality score of 10 and you will not get along. Yeah? But even if you have a fairly decent viral coefficient like 0.2 and you have a very short cycle time, that's fantastic. Yeah? You can really increase your growth that way. But many people do not think about how can I shorten the time it takes. For example, I usually do in the automation part, I think how many steps or how many times do the people use and when do I ping them with what message. And there's always this, what always comes up is, what do I do first? Invite friends or write a review, for example. And if you focus more on like your App Store ranking or your Amazon store ranking, then you want to do the invite, the rating first. If you want to go for virality, you want to do that first, and then you can play around. Because you're losing people on every step. I know that the 5th time they open the app, those are fewer people than the people that just open it 4 times. Yeah? It's just basic laws of human behavior, it seems. So this is what I can do, but there could be many more things to be done. But now you can go back on your product and open the slide, and I'm going to send it to you if you like, and just like, what can I do? What can I do now? Like you get a new growth guy, for example, and you ask them like, what's your plan? What do you want to do for my business? You can compare this with what he comes up with, or he can use it to create a really decent plan. And you don't have to do everything. Just serially, one after another, basic moves like in chess. So, last but not least, the revenue. I love pricing. Yeah, pricing is one of the most effective levers you have to influence purchasing behavior. Like, do I want to do a 2-week trial or not? How much does it cost me to provide a user with a 2-week trial? If you have a digital product, no problem. Do I want to charge credit card in the beginning or later? Yeah? Do I want to increase the quality of people that come into my funnel, or do I want to decrease it but get more volume? I look at the checkout very clearly. Like the final steps people can take to give me money, I optimize that to the nth degree, especially with online stores. Yeah? The more I can do here, the better. Especially like checkout on mobile these days. Like if you use WooCommerce or Shopify, you're lucky. But use some of the old school platforms, and you're like, oh my god, how are people supposed to convert here through this weird form? I always test different payment methods. Every country has very particular opinions on what's important. Here in Germany, to go without elektronisches Lastschriftverfahren, which is the best word ever. You're dead, yeah, like pretty much. Or like go without that and without PayPal. Just go with credit card here in Germany. Just try, it's fun. You might think about subscription. You might think about upsells. Building upsells is, for me, has always been the quickest way to increase the customer lifetime value. We had this one company here that was delivering food packages, Kochabo. And they got just beaten by HelloFresh, who found a way to upsell the people into a longer subscription, and therefore they could have such a higher cost per acquisition than Kochabo, which just drove them out of the market. Yeah? So many people do not think about once they have the first basic product, what can I sell to my current customer base? Yeah? Most people just think, oh, how do I get more customers? But here's fun. Here's tons of fun and money. So the most important value I want to track up here is customer lifetime value. How many people get through the checkout, and how much time does it take to get to first revenue. I usually also track like how much does it take to get to break-even revenue. Yeah? If I'm far enough into the product. But that's basically the stuff I'm looking at, but there are many more facets to be explored of the growth marketing treasure map, right? So this is the complete thing. users flowing and hopefully not drifting off. You're activating them, keeping them around, they're not getting lost in the woods. You go to Mount Doom, give you their money, and hopefully you refer some friends and you can find your treasure. That's that. All right. I'm very excited to see like what different iterations are coming on, like a more or less playful, more leathery feel to the whole map thing. I would love to print it really big ass and for people to get it. So we got some time left, but just a little, to have like space for questions and give me your examples, and we can discuss it here in the group, because like the best answers usually come like from that side of the podium. So guys, you can get in touch with me like at Sufiani everywhere if you have any questions about this, or like to take a lunch and we just brainstorm a little bit. I love to do that. And yeah, do you have any questions so far? Yeah, sure.
So if we're gauging social media and translating that into sales, what would you recommend? To gauge social media traffic.
Yeah.
We're gauging, how many people are liking our photos, but how many of those people actually go to my website and purchase my app?
What's your product?
I don't have one. It just is a metaphor.
Okay. Do you want to use an iOS app as an example?
Yeah, sure. iOS app for an example.
Okay. So, anybody would like to take that first before I do my spiel?
Can't be anyone over here.
You can ask them anytime. So, guys, what would you do if you needed to go from social media into an app store, into an in-app sale?
And to gauge how much value that user has on your social media. So if I have 100,000 followers, how valuable is that really? Are they actually purchasing my stuff? Are they just looking at my photos? What am I looking at? So what I love to do, especially like with the mobile apps, I use platforms like AppsFlyer or Adjust to give me attribution trackable links. Yeah, that means I give them a custom domain like l.mydomain.com. Yeah, and they generate a unique URL for that channel, for example. Or you can even do it for every campaign, but let's keep it basic, just do one URL for Twitter. Yeah. And now I'm starting to seed my content with those unique URLs, and I can track how many people came through that channel. Yeah, be happy if you get 50% attribution correct. Yeah, but then you can still compare the different social media platforms. If you're in a web environment, you have it very easy because you get the referral tracking built in. But referral tracking through the App Store always kills your attribution, right? So Adjust.com, AppsFlyer really helped me out to figure out like how much is Reddit worth. Like that was a very important channel to me in the past for the CSGO skills. And I could just track how many people, it's like Bitly, but for app attribution. Yeah, you just don't only see the clicks, you see everything that happens afterwards. And if you put it through segment, for example, you can even see how much they engage in the app and how much revenue they are providing. So you can actually get a customer lifetime value based on the social media profiles. Yeah, For example, that could be one way. Yeah. Any other questions? The awesome map. I probably had too much fun doing this. Yeah, it's not at the end.
How did you put the emails and people's for client?
For client, Client was pretty simple. We did something bold. Client is a book, yeah. And so we said, here's the PDF for free if you give us your email and sign up for the newsletter. So we built Facebook ads in the format called lead ads. Yeah, that was the first way. So you get from the app a pop-up and say, do you want to download it? Send me your email, I send it to you. And then Zapier took that lead from Facebook and put it into MailChimp. Yeah. The other way that really worked for us was on the website.
You gave away a free product?
No, the PDF for free. In your case, I would do discount codes. Yeah, with the email. It's definitely worth for repeat customers. Yeah, and then I use SumoMe on the website, which is a pop-up magic tool with split testing built in and everything. SumoMe. by Noah Kagan. He's a guy to follow anyways. And that drives like pop-ups, and you can really measure which pop-up on which site converts how good. And then the question is, how do I drive the traffic to the sites where the pop-up happens? And this is where it's most interesting to me. Yeah. So if you have a content marketing strategy and have a good articles, provide a good article that has a high click-through rate. You need like 10 to measure what's good and what's bad. Yeah. But then have a nice content upgrade on the website in exchange for the email. That's what works best for me for email list building. I think we had like 16,000 in 4 months, and in 4,000 of those 16,000 were customers. It was the highest conversion rate I saw, and it was so bold because like we gave the product away for free. They could have printed it. Yeah, it's not applicable to all products, of course, but be creative. Think your way around the corners. Yeah. Any other questions or like a problem you currently have with your growth that you would like to get fixed? Yeah, keep going.
I have some problems.
Yeah.
Do you know if there's do you know WooCommerce Good?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there like a tool for upsell after the sale?
I think it's even in the WooCommerce library. Like check on the WooCommerce website.
Because I just check this tool like ClickFunnels.
Yeah, ClickFunnels.
Do different things with like
Yeah.
WooCommerce.
But do you sell in Germany? Yeah, ClickFunnels, I have a love and hate relationship. People who have come to my meetups before, like they know I do. I'm a huge fan of Russell Brunson. Yeah, he's like one of the few B2B guys who I seriously believe who can do viral in B2B. Yeah, I just follow everything he does and read his 2 books, .com Secrets and Expert Secrets.
Okay.
Yeah, highly recommendable. And a quick upsell, the one-click upsell, is what I miss in WooCommerce a lot of times. But I think there is a plugin for that on the WooCommerce website. It's like $200, I think. Yeah. And in Shopify it's a bit easier, but not as good as in ClickFunnels, where you just don't have the additional credit card payment. But you can only do it with credit card, for example. So it's always a bit hard. I was super happy when Teachable introduced the one-click upsell, which is the platform I'm building now the video courses on. Yeah, we shall see how that works. So in your business, to me, the hardest question is always, how do I get low customer acquisition costs? That's all I want in e-commerce. Like people in volume for low cost that actually buy my shit. Yeah. Yes?
Can you recommend a tool for building personas and customer journeys? One that's free?
You look like you can recommend one. The question is about tools for building customer personas and customer journeys. I would love one. I would love one.
A free one?
No, it doesn't need to be free.
No.
Okay. So for like looking for different types of people to reach out to, different markets to engage, or like different segments of people, different segments of people to reach out to.
Are you on global or local? Global or local? Local. Well, Cologne might be better for you guys.
Yeah.
On the global market, it really depends on who's in your circle and how do people engage with the products you're trying to sell. So it could be very personal. Going to events like this, talking to people.
What do you want to sell?
Yeah.
What do you want to sell?
Well, it's not about selling.
Now, what do you want? Who do you want to reach?
Yeah.
Not selling.
Students and like young people looking for universities and stuff.
I would say events right now,
Yeah.
especially in the States, events and incubators, corporate incubators are the best place to get students involved with different programs to go into
Tinder is a good place to go. I'm waiting for Tinder ads so hard. But yeah.
They should have a LinkedIn Tinder. We're just like, no, yes.
Actually, Bumble just started Bumble Business.
Oh, really?
No.
Yeah. I don't know if it's active yet, but there's an event in Madrid called Unleash, and there's a representative who's starting this for business, so people look for potential business partners, for smaller companies looking for other small companies to help them with. And they get into as a beta to Instagram influencers that have over 100,000 followers.
Yeah, I would agree. I'm not sure the exact number, but around 80% of the younger college attending generation is willing to spend their money on experience over anything else. So they are spending their money and their time going to events and networking in person and meeting people at different places. So any type of event marketing, any type of experimental marketing, creating experience will probably be the best thing.
And why should they come to your school?
Because it's Cologne University. So
okay. What I like to do.
I was also looking for like tools. Can you recommend a good tool?
Like for example, if you have a website which runs Google Analytics, and you check the box for demographic data, that you want to collect that. You get to see the age and gender distribution. You get to see interest groups. Those interest groups can later be retargeted, can be targeted on AdWords. The same goes for Facebook. If you use the Audience Insights tool from Facebook, you can input a big, even the Cologne University Facebook page, and get all the interest and activity data from your students, because it's going to be like 99% students liking the University of Cologne, right? And there you get a very clear customer profile, age, gender, and interest, and activity, and relationship status with Facebook Audience Insights. Yeah, my favorite tool, for building an avatar or a couple of avatars. Alrighty, guys, I want to thank you for your attention. If you want to get in touch.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, those links are not. I would love to invite you to the next meetup. Yeah, we got one going on the 8th of November. We're gonna be building messenger bots live. Yeah, you're just in that, and you'll be surprised how easy it is these days. It's always like this. Oh my God, messenger bots! No. You can easily sell those for 2K after you went to that one meetup. Yeah, so feel free to join us. Thank you, guys. I'm around. So, bye-bye.